I make apps. Now today I want to talk about content marketing with Answer the Public. All right, so earlier today I was having a conversation with somebody who had a couple of apps on the app market and he needed help marketing them. So it was a very familiar story. He has the apps, he doesn't have an advertising budget, so he can't just take out a bunch of ads and have people go to it. So we were talking about how to get people to find his application and use them. And we went through the normal stuff like the ASO stuff, the keyword optimization, what are people going to be searching for, all that kind of stuff. And then we talked about optimizing the description, doing social media, all that kind of stuff. And then we talked about content marketing. And because his app was so specific to a niche, it was kind of fun to come up with topics of things he could write about. I was like, you could do the top 10 reasons of this or the biggest mistakes people make there, all that kind of stuff, you know, the kind of stuff that people search for, right? And it was like, he wasn't quite sure what I was talking about, and I had to make it really clear. There are going to be people out there who are searching for what you have, whether it be your product, your app, or your service, and hopefully when they're searching for that, they will come into your world. They'll find a little bit of content that you've done. And I told them, like, I do videos every single day and we talk about apps and we talk about app marketing, we talk about all this kind of stuff, and it's fun to come up with things, right? And then the question came to, I mean, how do you come up with so many topics? And I told them, like, dude, I got a list that I carry around. So when I think about things, I'll put it down on the list, or if there's a really good question in the comments, I'll write it down so I can answer it later. But there's some times where I just can't think of anything, right? There's just like, because every day is like, what am I going to talk about today? And there's a few tools that I use that I find really, really useful. And one of them is called answerthepublic.com. And every time I show this to somebody, if they've never seen it before, they're usually pretty surprised about it. Because in my mind, the whole goal of content marketing is to get people who are searching for what you have to find you. So you have to think about what they're going to be searching for. So if you have a company that does, if you're a mechanic, then you have to think, you can't just say mechanic as your search terms. You have to think about, you know, how do you fix a carburetor? How do you, I don't know, I'm not a mechanic, but that kind of stuff. So I want to show you this website, which I think is really, really cool. If you have an app and you just don't have the budget for doing ads, and none of us do really, right? Nobody wants to spend money on advertising if they don't have to, but you need to think about what kind of content you could put out there. Have a look at this website. So have a look at my screen here. This website is called answerthepublic.com, and what it does is it puts a lot of the search terms, like using Google Suggest or whatever, and it will give you some ideas of what people are searching for based on the keywords that you put in. So, and this will work for the Play Store, but it will work really well for if you do blogs or you do videos or you do Twitter or whatever. So, and by the way, they changed the website a lot over the last couple of years, and they've got this guy here on the front, and I don't, it's kind of creepy. So anyway, let's go in here. I'm going to do my app, one of my apps, because just for lack of anything else. So if I type in spy apps and type in get questions, what it will do is we'll go through and it'll give you a couple of graphs of things that people are searching on Google for. Now it won't tell you how many other bits of content there are out there, so you're going to have to go into them individually. But if you're trying to think about what you could write about, what kind of content you could make. You know, some days when I can't think of something to talk about on the video, I don't use it that often, but from time to time you just go, it comes up with this graph here. So have a look here. So we got spy app at the top, and we got different sections visualized in a chart. So over here you can see spy app, and it just starts, it goes to all the questions, you know, will, can, which, who, what. So will factory reset remove spy apps? Can spy apps read text messages? Can spy apps be detected? So all of these kind of things could be potentially things that people are searching for. So if somebody's looking for spy apps, most of this has to do with spy apps removal, but if they're looking for spy apps, you could have that one piece of content that they're specifically looking for, and you could give them the information, because if you just do a little bit of research, you could find out about it and give them a little bit of information, and then also link back to your app. So that will help increase your Google page rank, which will help increase the flow of what people go through. So, and you can write a blog post. You can use a tool like Lumen 5 and turn that blog post into a video, and then you have several different places where if somebody's looking for that one product that you have, whether it be your app or your business, that they'll find it. So let's go down here. There's actually several graphs here. We have the preposition, so you know, spy app top, spy app to see text, so and so, so things that people are searching for, comparisons, spy app Android spy app, Android APK, that kind of stuff, a spy app on iPhone. And it's a really, really, really useful tool when you just can't think of any content to produce. Now, if you're like, I'm a fan of Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. I mean, I'm kind of hot and cold on him. Sometimes I really like what he puts out, sometimes not. But one thing he does say is, if you're going to run a business today, you have to be you have to think about content marketing all the time. You are a content business as well as just doing what you do. And sometimes just thinking about what to talk about is really useful. So I wanted to share that with you. When people ask me how do I come up with stuff to talk about all the time, there's lots of different ways to do it. I mean, sometimes you're just brainstorming things to talk about, but you got a lot of questions that come through, which I'm really always grateful for. But this tool helps too. Check it out if you do any content marketing, and if you're not doing any content marketing for your apps, you should. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. And that is it for today. I will talk to you again tomorrow.